Alright, guys. So, I guess Final Cut crashed last time, but we were just about to get into titles, which I love titles. It's a problem with me. You guys are you're just gonna have to deal with it. Um, so we need to choose a font. They all start out as Havelica. I just about refuse to use Havelica. I want something pretty crazy, I think, for this, because he's smoked weed and he wakes up and he's speaking Spanish, and you know, definitely want there to be something pretty crazy about that. And I feel like the only times people really get to see what it is that I do on a daily basis is, through titles and through kind of color correction, editing, that sort of thing. I mean, if they're seeing it, then you're not really doing it to the best of your ability, I guess. Although, that being said, I'm broadcasting what I'm doing right now, so that's probably not accurate. But, it's just something that I take very seriously, I guess. We want to make something pretty good here. Let's try some good fonts. Maybe, it's a great deal of my day spent looking through these lists of fonts. Um, hmm. And I've downloaded a lot of fonts, so this may not be. I kind of like that one. I kind of like that one. Let's go with that one. Which I may redesign these fonts at some point, but who knows? I want to do maybe an outline would be nice. I don't know why it defaults to red. It seems like the stupidest color ever. I probably want black. It's almost always black. Let's throw that up a little bit, kind of make it pop up off the screen. And I would also like to see these done. Let's do this correctly. Let's bring this in. No. Let's make this its own compound clip. Jar titles 1. Because I don't want to have to deal with the whole timeline while I'm working on this one thing here. And once I get this done, I can just copy it. So, I want this to kind of animate in. So duplicate that, and I'm just option dragging. So if you press and hold option on your keyboard, and then you pull up there. So let's say this is, oh my god, this is zone title. And then let's go up to this one. Let's delete, oh my god, because we've already got that title. Let's do, these drugs are fantastic. And then Gerard should get his own title, because, it's Gerard. The perks of being a named character in a movie. What can I say? Let's delete that. Alright, so they're all kind of on top of each other. Let's do. So the video tab here. Let's move this up. Let's change the size. Oh my god. OMG. Maybe it should be OMG. No. Oh dear sweet gosh. Super fain drug tames. Let's do, oh my god. These drugs are fantastic. Let's do fantastic, its own title too. Give myself a little more control over what I got. So fantastic. Estos drogos es fantástico, Gerard. So I don't like the tracking on this one. Oh my god. Oh my god, Becky. Look at her ass. It's like out there. Alright. And we're going to change the baseline of this. So I'm taking these individually here. Because I want them to be, I want it to be an icon, essentially. I want an oh my god. Right? So, then I'll go to my, and I want the line spacing to be pretty low. Bring that back, and then my baseline up. Oh my god. No, it doesn't matter at all. Not that. Let's do this. And let's make this giant. It's a capital G. Okay. So that's something we should probably discuss here. So that line, that is the level of the video. It has gone out of the video, if you will. But if I raise the baseline of that whole word, it'll move up. All right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dios mío, Gerard. Estos drogos es fantástico. Right? Let's get rid of that. Okay, so fantastic. Let's make my its own. I guess this is a spoiler, you know. You guys are finding out a scene in the movie before it's even out. Oh no. Is anybody even still like watching this video? Like, went to the second part, ready to do it. Something tells me probably not. And then I realized that I'm the type of person that would probably still be watching something like this. So, you know, more power to you if you are. I think it's wonderful. But I can understand if you have dropped off or fast forwarded through this part. But for my sanity, I'm putting this in here. You know, we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. There's nobody here. For real. Oh my gosh. I feel like that white on black tone is not enough though. Let's oh my god. Let's do so on an oh my god. Is that a drop shadow to it? Like a colored drop shadow? And the more I'm looking at this, I'm not liking this font. I guess it's got to be something legible. That one's nice. Get super metal, bro. Is this an I smoked weed and now I'm speaking a different language font, or is this just some other font, you know? That's weird. That's an I smoked weed and now I'm that's one. If ever there was. Yup. Okay. Let's see. Mega Play. What do you got for me? I kind of want this to be flashing. Okay. So we're going to split this up. I'm going to open my Command 6. Let's make this change colors. Get it super weird. Get super weird with it. This is pretty ridiculous. Alright. Let's start copying some of these color corrections. Alright. Let's just... Alright, and we don't want them to just like blink. Let's add a transition, but an effect. Let's add an immorph effect. Where's my... I'm looking in the wrong place. Come on. Didn't do what I want. Create a storyline. That's what I'm missing. Come on, bastards. Just do what I'm asking you to do. There we go. I hate you so much right now, computer. Come on. All right. Estos drugos es fantástico. All right. This is looking pretty ridiculous. There you go. Alright, so now let's repeat the same sort of these drugs are fantastic. Maybe I'll put some music or something with this. You guys can just, chill out. Make it that same mega play. Move this over here. It's looking nice. Fantastical. I'm gonna have to fix that color on these. These are getting kind of hard to read over there. Do I keep the mega play or do I change to something else now then? Let me make them all mega play and then I'll decide. Yeah. I mean, the A's are almost unreadable. Like who decided that was a thing? Okay. Let's do this. Let's get Gerard. It's very Schoolhouse Rock font. Kind of digging it. Kind of liking it. Let's see what we do with it. Alright, let's see. Mega. I don't know. Let's try something else. Let's try. No. 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 Okay. Well, all these fonts suck. I don't hate it. mean, people talk about this stuff like it's magic, but really, you're just checking all the boxes. That's an unusual font. Let's see. I love it. I don't know if that's the right one. Aristico. I like that font. Whatever it's called, I can't read that. Okay. Bait shower. I want something crazy. Some looks drug related. Since we're talking about doing drugs here, you know. No. No. Dystopian future. Nope. Who's using these fonts? Where did I even get that from? No. It's a little too hardcore. That's a different movie altogether. I don't hate it. No. No. This video is going to be super long, but the sped up version is going to be awesome. Let's see. What? There's like a Cheech and Chong font. Or like a super crazy, I don't know. It's gotta not be too hardcore. It's like The Price is Right. I do like that one. Yeah, that's it. That's the new font. We'll go from this to this. Alright, so let's change these colors up. Let's make this one. Let's make the drugs green. But like a dark green. Yeah, like a drugs green. These drugs are fantastic. Maybe throw in a little bit of orange, you know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Alright, these drugs Fantastic's got to be super crazy. Super crazy fun time. Let's make this a different color. Let's match this color to the same thing here. Let's make all of the outlines a little bit bigger. These trucks are fantastic. Let's zoom in here. Let's cut this up down yonder. Random intervals. I don't want it too consistent. I just want them to be broken up. You know. We'll change them colors up. Get your colors right, boy. All right. And let's do A to switch tools so that I can just click on it. Video Command 6 to change to my color board. I'm going to just click through these randomly so that it's just changing colors. No. Nope. Doing this wrong. Here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go to text. I'm going to change the face of it. Some random willy-nilly color right there. I don't want to start with the just randomly color these things. interesting stuff here, guys. Just going random colors with it. Alright, and let's do the same thing we did there, and we will create a timeline, or a storyline there. And we will start adding in these morph cuts. Sort of randomly placed. Nothing too crazy here. There we go. Alright. And we need to color correct this one. Alright. Okay, let's copy this. Put that over there. Let's see. All right. Let's figure out this title situation. Definitely not Helvelica. It's a nice font. Let's try that one. Let's bring up the size a bit. Let's get an outline to make it pop out. Just change to black because I don't know why it's red to begin with. I wish there was keyframe buttons here, but there's not. Let's change the color of the face of this, because white's just boring. Let's make it let's make it sort of that seafoam green, maybe. I like it. I dig it. Let's add the color correction there. Okay. There we go. Okay. What is this? That thing. Got it. All right. So let's close this. Let's get in on this one here. This one's too yellow. That looks pretty good. I don't hate that. Okay. Just paste these on here. I'm kind of rinsing and repeating. Let's copy this over to right there. Okay. Now let's paste that over there. ¿Qué es tu problema, Gerard? Yo no hablo español. we are pretty close to having done a whole scene here. There are a lot of titles, but I think that we can get those taken care of. Let's start by getting all these repeated shots color corrected, and then we'll go into those titles there. Let's try, so this looks new. Let's try the base color correction. Let's get that done right. Let's bring that up and that down a little bit. Kind of just moving through these things at this point because you've seen me do them all. You know, there's only so many ways I can explain this, but hopefully you are getting the point by now of exactly what I'm doing. All right. Let's see. Does this have its color correction added? Yes. Looks right. Let's paste that over to there. So if anybody's actually watched this all the way through, I'm pretty stoked. You know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but I don't expect you to get it through. If you know, haven't I'm just gonna move this over to here and save myself the trouble. That works, okay. All right. Okay, and we'll copy this over there. All right. We are nearing the end, guys. What are we gonna do? So let's take this color from here and put it right there. There's no reason for that to be different clips. All right. It's looking a little bit. It's looking a little bit bright. There we go. There we go. Let's take the closest close-up of Gerard and paste that over there. Okay. All right. I don't know why all these clips are separate. I'm just going to keep pasting away here. Once you've got all these things done, it's really just going through it. I mean, you have every new instance of a clip, you have to really pay attention to what it is and kind of go through and color correct it, obviously. But for the most part, once you have it done, it's copy and paste. And then you can use things like creating the, presets like I showed you before. And that'll kind of, really get it going. Well, that's just in the wrong spot. Let's see. There we go. All right. All right, and then Jana comes in. So we'll call it that the end of the scope of this video, I guess. And we will finish up these titles, and then we are done. This is the home stretch, guys. If you are still watching, I'm impressed. Color me impressed. That's all I'm saying. This is 2 hours worth of color correction, which, it's not easy. And it definitely takes a lot of patience, but I I think that you guys could potentially benefit from it, so I might as well, right? Let's raise that up. Let's make these bigger and better. Let's undo that. No. It's also a good idea to check your title and action safe bars. Make sure that it will actually fit. You generally want to keep them inside both boxes. All screens will fit typically within this one. Some may not work with this one. Usually if you're on the web, you're just seeing the entire file size, so you don't have to worry about it. But it is a good idea to check your title safe whenever whenever there's doubt. Since I'm putting this one towards the bottom of the thing there, that's something that I wanted to do. Not something that you necessarily have to do, but might as well. Let's do that, and let's do this happy potatoes font, maybe like a nice cursive. Maybe some, I don't know, what's a good one here? I did like that Cartoon 6. Yeah, let's do that. Let's throw in some Cartoon 6. And let's change the baseline. Let's change the baseline here. No, line spacing is what I meant. There you go. And we could still move this video down a little bit. The difference between this here in this video tab and moving it just normally is you don't run into that screen cutoff problem, which you saw actually at the beginning of this title, so you just want to be aware of that. Let's how many titles we got left? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 titles left. ¿Qué es tu problema, Gerard? Yo no hablo español. ¿Por qué? Dios mío. He also goes on to speak a little German in this. This was a difficult scene to film, actually, because we had to go through, and Elias had to speak 2 different languages, which when I was writing the movie, I sort of learned myself, but, it's hard to impart that same sort of knowledge onto somebody. But, so this was a pretty interesting one, and there was, there's the weed there. And at the end of the day, we decided that, because it was the last day of shooting, it was the 9th day that we had done this scene, and it was pretty crazy. So we decided to, just go to town with it, and ended up smoking some weed on set, which was certainly an experience. Only the people who have watched this all the way through to now will know this, but we were high for the next scene that was shot. We had a camera person on set that wasn't comfortable with it, and she left, and then me and Kevin and Elias decided that you can't really smoke a scene, or you can't really do a scene where you're supposed to be smoking weed and not actually smoke weed. So that's what ended up happening, and I don't know how great that footage turned out, but do with that what you will. If anybody's actually still watching this, then our dirty secret. Maybe I'll put it on the DVD menu or something, but other than that, you know, just you guys. That makes you extra special. Alright. It's pretty. This should have a question mark on the end. And, just for giggles, let's do a question mark on the front too, but inverted. Like it's actually Spanish, you know. So I'll just duplicate it. Cut that. Move it over to here. Is that racist? This may be racist. Let's add some corrections here. I like to do these sort of vignettes here. Why? Come on. And create a nice little let's just go totally outlandish with this and just make it let's go to there. And then we're gonna cross this over the top of it. And then we'll go to there. And we'll go back with it, because why not? Let's rotate it like it's coming back the other way. Funny. It makes me laugh. I don't know about you guys, but let's see here. This is not in our title. And action safe bars. I kind of like this Latin font. Yo no hablo español. ¿Qué es tu problema, Gerard? My problem is I started learning Spanish and German at the same time. And that's a bad idea, as it turns out, because you end up doing... let's make this the Spanish flag. What are the colors of the Spanish flag? Mexico. Because I'm in Texas, and we're right next to the border. So when I think Spanish, I'm thinking Mexico Spanish and not other Spanish. But let's do two different. Let's do two different operations here. We want to add two corrections, and then we're going to go into the video segment here and add a shape mask. I'm going to put this one right here. I want this one to be green. Oh. Just bring down the exposure on that. This is real Mexico green, you know. I don't speak Spanish. And then the other one can be red. Because why not? You know. And we will make this one red. Let's take that. Oh my god, that we already did. Because, you know, why do more work than we have to? Let's copy that. And with it in a storyline, that's what allows us to move this. If it was not, then it would just move individually. But this will maintain her. We'll make it stay together, which is good. Now, if anybody is still out there, now you'll know. You'll know all my secrets, you know. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. What the hell was that? I just want you to move. Now, we still want to be inside the title and action safe. Nah, I just want to copy this. Let's not reinvent the wheel, right? Oh my god. I am speaking Spanish. So weird. What do are you gonna do? Yo estoy hablando español. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? I am speak English. No, let's do I am speaking Spanish. No, you gotta look at it. Make sure it's right. Holy guacamole, Jared. You smoked that stuff and it gave you subtitles. Alright, how many of these do we got left? You know what? We are at 2.5 hours. Why don't we call this? You don't have to sit here and look at me do all these things here. But, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. And if you have any questions, please just put them in the comments below. I'm absolutely down to answer any of them that you have. I'm going to continue working on this. I got a long way to go. But hopefully this has been educational or whatever. If not, don't watch it. You can see the sped up version. But yeah, my name is David Baugh, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Something good, Gerard. Something good.